What up traders, what up investors, Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and we're going to be looking at a very particular trade within Wallstreetbets that is on Tesla. Of course, Tesla has been going through the roof, especially at Wallstreetbets, showing the potential split going to 420 and 69 cents, all that kind of those memes going crazy. Of course, people just raking in fortunes, people losing a lot of money as well, betting against Tesla as well. This being said, with Tesla, it has been a remarkable run just the past 2 weeks, basically, thinking at this level down here at basically around 1367, where a lot of folks, even myself, was like, ooh, if this breaks, we could be easily coming back down to the 200 EMA. Guess what? Papa Ela said, nope, you know what? We're doing that split, and we're going to do that quick as possible. Let's get that board signed off, which, again, there's some speculation of he had that thought out way back when he said the stock price was over, the Tesla stock price was too high in his opinion. The tweet that kind of went really crazy, and then really kind of took the overall market somewhat down over here. I believe that was over here, and then it really just kind of really took off once, of course, that split was announced. Again, who knows if it takes a little bit longer time. I don't think it's because Apple did it. I think that was already in the works to really have that split, because again, Elon, as you know, he has people on the earnings call that are retail investors. He doesn't have he has the professional analyst on there, and then he also has the retail guy. So he has deep respect for the folks that actually have believed the overall understanding of, hey, it's not just these money managers, these pensions, and these other huge funds that are investing us. It's the small guys, the small gals who are putting in, buying 1 share, 2 shares, or whatever, and really believe in the company. That being said, he's giving that really to come to fruition with the 5-to-1 stock split towards the end of the month. And ever since then, that announcement has really just ranked this thing substantially higher. So we do a fib from the swing high to swing low. We can really see that the Fibonacci retracements have really shown this really strong upward movement. Again, you didn't know where this low would come in, but once that low is set, you can draw these lines and start guiding out on what some potential markers could be if the stock wants to run. You're really seeing that 1272 extension, which is normally a really great price to potentially get out from that swing high to swing low. That was around 1911. Then our next overhead resistance was around the 2060, and guess what did it close at this week? At 2050. So nothing too remarkable there in the sense of, yeah, it's following the movement here. And then our next overhead line of resistance is at 2490. Can it hit this before the split? At this point, I'm not going to speculate. I think it probably can, honestly, especially with Wallstreetbets and all these other folks really just riding it up. Fundamentally, there is no news. There is no news coming out. The only news is that they're having a split. So, but that being said, let's go ahead and look at some of these trades here. We got our boy over here who bought. Looks like he bought 1 share, or sorry, 1 strike price. Basically betting that was expiring today or on Friday, really seeing that rise substantially. Betting probably it was like a little $10,000, bringing in nearly $46,000 on his $8,000 bet. So that's pretty remarkable, without a doubt, seeing that run just take place. That's really good. Kudos to him, without a doubt. And then next, the one we wanted to analyze was our boy over here. And someone who actually bought substantially towards the end of March, the March 30th, and just sold on August 18th, just having 1 contract. He had a longer dated leap, basically. Again, a longer dated leap means that he had the options contract that was at least a year out. Even though strategically this didn't fall into a leap because he bought it on the 30th, and this is the 19th, but we're just going to call it a leap for lack of better words, because we're all friends here and we don't have to be always politically correct. That being said, and then he sold that same contract again on the 18th of August for nearly buying that contract for about $1,000, then selling it for around $43,000 basically a couple months later. So really great trade. Let's go ahead and kind of dive into the what happened on that particular trade there as well. So again, he bought it on, what was that, the 30th of March. So that's right about here. Looks like right up right here on the 330 right here. Basically buying around where it was $500. Okay, that was after the overall pandemic. We saw the bounce here on the 200 EMA, kind of in around that area, and earnings was on the horizon. That being said, that really tight consolidation pattern here kind of came in, trading in this kind of range between below the 21. Again, this is kind of hindsight. This is like, oh yeah, that was the smart call. It's easy. I would have done it every single time. No, this is a very difficult time to buy this because again, it was just the $900 a share, and then it comes crashing down in like 2 months and nearly gets cut in half. That's a pretty steep haircut there. And then having the audacity to buy $1,000 leap at $1,800, $1,840 basically, a year out. That's very, very optimistic mindset. Let's just call it that. We'll call it big brain. We'll call it big brain IQ 200. So that being said, that really had a strong bounce here off the 200 EMA. Then after that, just had a nice earnings run. And then once Tesla kind of made this formation of like, hey, we're going to be okay. The company's doing great. And Papa Eli was just really just taking care of the shareholders in the sense of doing great overall earnings, great news, a lot of great other announcements coming out regarding the Texas Gigafactory, all the stuff going on in outside of Berlin with the factory in Germany. So a lot of great news, really continued going higher, really was gaining a momentum, and it really has not cut through the 21 for some time. And then seeing this ride just continue going, and then boom, had this explosion from basically this really tight consolidation pattern. I normally don't like to draw lines in my charts, but we'll do it here. So what we call this is basically a very tight spool of consolidation, basically capitulation, people no longer wanting to sell, and just really winding and getting lower. And once these moving averages and the overall candles retract or really get really small, like basically if you just jumped in cold water, you know what happens if you're a man. It just really contracts, and then sees that really come in here. And at the same time, you're not seeing a lot of volume coming in. So there's not a lot of selling, and there's not a lot of buying. Again, the speculation on, hey, we could have an explosion. At the same time, RSI is I wouldn't say at an extreme level, but it's above 50, so that's a good sign. And as well as the volume zone oscillator was just hovering around 0, so that was another sign of like, oh, this might explode higher. That being said, of course, hindsight, it did, and had huge gap up days, and just continue to run into this earnings report here. But it usually happens with Tesla that has if earnings is 2-3 weeks away, a lot of people want to get in and like, oh, I'm going to buy some Tesla. I'm going to get this earnings run, or if the Tesla's going to blow it out of the water, it's going to hit the 5,000 next quarter, right, guys? That being said, we saw that really just kick up here. Same kind of pattern here. Like I can just really, let's do this. I'm going to draw that, get rid of this, and then we can draw that same exact kind of pattern here. But the only difference with this time was that this particular pattern was a little bit more negative. And why do I say that? Because it broke below 21. The only reason it wasn't completely negative, and I think I wrote this in the Discord chat, was like, I'm thinking Tesla might break the 34 because this pattern was going pretty low here. And with the squeeze was going all red, the momentum was going down. Like this wanted to go lower. But once that tweet came out saying, we got a 5-1 banana split for you boys and girls, just took off. And it really just broke above that line. That really tight consolidation, just that rubber band broke, that watermelon exploded, and it just ripped higher. And now kind of settling around that 1618 Fibonacci retracement from the swing high to swing low. Where can we go from here? Again, we're looking for potentially to the 2,500 strike price or call, going all the way to that price target up there potentially. To the downside, support's really going to come in between the 21 and the 34 initially, kind of where the parabolic SAR is currently at this point in time. That being said, I hope this was educational for everyone here. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And if you're interested on checking out the Discord, that's down below as well. Hope to see you in there. We always have some great chats. And as well, if you're interested on joining the Patreon below as well, hope to see you in there. We always have some great chats. And as well, if you're interested on joining the Patreon page or the YouTube membership page, definitely check that as well. Again, this is